What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV here today, and we're gonna talk about this Sony fangirl that got roasted for apparently, um, I guess apparently Microsoft having third-party studios working on their main first-party titles is a problem now. When it's like, really, that's kind of like how this goes for these big AAA games. It's kind of like even Sony's side of you, where they're big AAA games, they got other studios that help them out with the development. So. This fangirl made a big deal about this, but then when you look at the comment section, she's getting roasted completely. So let's read what her comment was. Well, I guess the original what started this was that first we knew last year that Crystal Dynamics was working on the Perfect Dark game as well, along with the initiative. And then we got updates from this one journalist who has me blocked. I think he has everybody blocked on Twitter for whatever reason, but apparently, Adios Montreal is working on. They're working with along with Xbox teams to work on Fable as well. Fable, the reboot for Fable. So it's like I didn't see this as a big deal. Like really, I didn't think this was even like newsworthy. But Sony guys and gals have to blow this up out of proportion because apparently this is a big deal to them that other developers work on studios as well. It's like who cares? But it's a big deal to these people. So. This is a tweet that she made. So now Xbox is partnering with two third-party studios to co-develop their first-party games. Lord, what is going on over there? Pretty much trying to say that Xbox is in shambles and is in bad leadership, pretty much. But it's a common trend from the industry. I'm gonna go straight to the quote tweets because people post receipts. So like for example, God of War Ragnarok had 9 game studios and teams worked on this game. So. There you go, a big Sony title that other studios work on it. And even people said the same thing about Last of Us 2, have 14 studios to complete the game. So this isn't a shocking news as they want to make it out to be. Even Sony Studios for their big AAA games has other teams working on it. So I don't know what she was trying to do by this, but like I said, she ended up getting roasted in the comment section. So let's go through the tweets. This happens all the time. It's only newsworthy because Eidos and CD are bigger studios. Ragnarok needed 9 studios to get done. I think Halo Infinite was like 18 or something crazy. A coup for Xbox. Adios Montreal delivered a great Guardians of the Galaxy game. Having their experience, expertise is invaluable and provides additional confidence. Blah, blah, blah. Who's gonna tell her that Sony Studios often do this and more when it comes to their games? Yeah, she's like new to gaming news, but this isn't a big news story as she wanted it to be, like a big gotcha moment when it's really not. At the end of the day, all you should care about is the game is good or not. Who cares how many studios worked on the game? Like, is that really what people care about? If more studios works on the game, that means your game is trash. It's like at the end of the day, you just want the game to be good. So who cares at the end of the day? Isn't this extremely common? Have you not looked at how a lot of Nintendo games, for example, are developed in similar ways? This is a tacit admission. They lack leadership. Look at this nonsense right here. Of course, this type of comment is going to lead to more of these stupid comments. They lack leadership and talent in their first-party studios. It's so stupid. So when Sony does the same thing, are they lacking leadership as well? Like, jeez. Greatness, we're about to get the best games the video game industry will ever see. Xbox is back and better than before. Then this clown says, Xbox are so funny when it's like, yeah, Xbox is in the best position they were ever before. Sure that this year might have been slow on first party stuff, but it's still like, once the games for next year start coming out, like Redfall and Starfield, it's going to be back in the swing of things. So this is standard practice. You don't need to be salty about it. In fact, it is good news. They just hate anything about Xbox, apparently so, because this is a bigger reach to say that, hey, Xbox is in shambles when literally every other big AAA budget studio, they do the same thing, so. As long as they're making games, that's all that matters, I agree. That's all that should matter. A dev collaboration? This is new? This happens all the time. Why is this a problem again? I don't know. Incompetence. This is from a guy named Sony Prophet. Okay. I'm kind of noticing a trend. The only people who are saying that this is just like incompetence, they lack in leadership, or the Xbox has no idea what they're doing, it's all from these diehard Sony fanboys and fangirls. That's the trend I'm noticing with these comments. But the average person who's like into video game, like at least somewhat into video game news, like follows like development stuff like that, they know this isn't a big of a deal. But the Sony fanboys are gonna make this bigger than what it is at this point. Um, Interesting. It's almost as if you're naive enough to think this doesn't happen with PlayStation games. Yeah, same thing. All these PlayStation games. You must be unaware of Spider-Man being built by, at the time, a third-party studio. Yeah, I think that's Sony's biggest game, and that's built by a third-party studio at the time before they acquire them. It wasn't built by a first party at the time. Only ponies, who cares? Strange that. Yeah, this wouldn't even be a video-worthy topic unless the Sony fan person got roasted. I wouldn't even do a video about this, but you know, this person's getting roasted in the comment section, so might as well do a video about it. Uh, Did you know that God of Ragnarok was developed by A Plus Studios? And I like, it's like after a certain while, they start responding to comments once they, once they realize their comment made no sense. Because notice how they start responding when people post receipts for the different Sony studios haven't helped as well. Like they are nowhere to be found after that. So it's just hilarious. Go on the list of all the studios Naughty Dog had to partner with to create The Last of Us. I'm sure you'd rather project your narrative, right? uh, oh, look, another idiot. Jeez. Someone doesn't know how games are made. Because PlayStation has never done this same thing. Yeah. It's pretty obvious though. It's like at this point when it's like posting so many receipts that PlayStation does the same thing, then how are you really saying that Microsoft just has no idea what they're doing? Another pony letting Xbox Live rent free, pretty much. Pretty much. Xbox just lives in their mind rent free. And I'm like, and it's crazy because the new God of War game comes out, but you know, they can only think about Xbox. Xbox is in their mind 24/7. Jeez. Nobody tell them the best PlayStation exclusives are from third party studios. So you be quiet, your ugly fanboy is showing. Does it matter the games are getting made? The two Xbox games being helped by major third-party games are being done by studios who haven't made the kind of game they're making. Would seem rather dumb not to get them some help. Yeah, that's facts. Because I believe people making the Fable game they make usually the racing game, so it would make sense why they would need help because it's like they specialize in making racing games. So that's not really a gotcha moment. They're getting people who make racing games to get help from people who at least know about RPG games or who can help in RPG games. It's not really a gotcha moment. That just makes sense. When you don't know anything about game development. When you think outsourcing studios as the same as third-party lead development studios, when Sony does the same thing, so okay. Sony much? Do you have any effing idea how many studios worked on The Last of Us 2 and other Sony projects? Co-developmental have existed for a long time. Honestly, before you come on Twitter and ridicule yourself, a little Google search won't kill you. Or at least like edit. I don't know if you can edit the tweet, but it'll say, "Hey, I was wrong. Maybe I shouldn't post this because Sony does the same thing and trying to take shots at Xbox." But you know, they just keep going on with the foolishness. Xbox are too stupid to build their own games. That's why they buy everything. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Okay, does he not know how Sony works too? It's simple. Their first party studios are either crap, Microsoft are just crap at managing them, or both. Man, you are not smart, or if you think Xbox is the only one that does this, but of course you are a pony, so that makes sense. Are you dumb? Seriously, Sony does this as like all the effing time, so what exactly are you trying to say? I don't know. They're trying to push this narrative that Xbox has no idea what they're doing, but I'm like, just a year ago they won Publisher of the Year, so obviously know what they're doing. Like, sure, we can say, hey, this year has been pretty slow for first party content, but like they're gonna be back on track next year with the games coming out. So It's kind of funny people say that this company just has no idea what they're doing. They make constant hit games after hit after hit, pretty much with Xbox. So y'all PlayStation clowns gotta stop hitting tweet on any struggle thought that y'all be coming to y'all heads. I agree. Xbox is partnering with studios to build games. Yeah, that must be a bad thing. Facepalm. The PlayStation fangirls are even more dense than the boys, and that's saying something. Oh, by the way, The Last of Us 2 had almost 2,000 developers from 14 studios worked on that game. Yeah, you aren't too bright, huh? Outsourcing is a thing that happens everywhere. Duke says drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. She's a pony. Yeah, they're just roasting her at this point, which is rightfully so, because this is kind of a crazy tweet to make right here. But, you know, Sony fanboys and fangirls always got to put their foot in their mouth pretty much at the end of the day. So I'm going to conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about the Sony fangirl trying to get a gotcha, saying, hey, Xbox has no idea what they're doing. Their management is in complete shambles because they get help from other studios that work on their games. It was like Sony does the same thing. It's not that uncommon for people for them to outsource the game, especially when the people that got the making the games don't specialize in that game to begin with. So it makes sense why they're getting help for these studios. I don't have a problem with that. It's not that big of a deal to me, but you know, they gotta blow up out of proportion as always when it comes to Xbox. So got concluded right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video, and as always, thanks for watching and peace.